Hello and welcome to this week's What's Hot. Well, it's the start of a new school term. It's the end of August, and by the end of September, we will find out which mid-cap companies have been elevated to the giddy heights of the FTSE 250 index. Now, early indications are that the following will be joining the FTSE 250. They include Baltic Classifieds Group, Bridgepoint Group, Darktrace, Draper Esprit and Endeavour Mining. Now, it matters for several reasons. Now, one of which is that funds will typically buy shares into the recently promoted, and that is quite a psychological boost for the companies that are in the FTSE 250 or the FTSE 100, particularly if any of the board members' grannies' pension funds are invested in their companies. They'll want that pension fund to do well. So let me remind you about Darktrace. Now, it only listed on the public markets in April. And what it does is it uses artificial intelligence to spot intruders into a company's network and other security threats. It listed on the public markets April this year and now has a market cap of £4.5 billion. That is a similar valuation for Endeavour Mining, which is a dual listing here and in Canada. It's in the top 10 gold producing companies in the world. It's number one in West Africa with 7 producing assets with record results in the second quarter of this year. The company tells us it's committed to shareholder returns as production goes up and all sustaining costs go down. And if you watch the video on their homepage, you'll see that some of the gold that they have explored and produced can be consumed on top of a rather posh cake. Now, the battle for Morrisons helped push up the share price of the supermarket. It also may have pushed it into the FTSE 100 again because it now enjoys a market cap of £7 billion. Now, other companies that may join the roll call of the recently promoted into the FTSE 100 could include these companies: Decra Pharmaceuticals and British engineering group Meggitt. Meggitt too is at the centre of a takeover battle. Now, I emphasise the word British in British engineering group Meggitt because over the past 12 months, US private equity funds have made 65 UK acquisitions. And what shareholders and members of the public want to know is whether they can integrate, not just culturally, but honourably, because a recent article in The Guardian reminds us that in 2010, Kraft Heinz was criticised by the takeover panel for reneging on promises to keep the Cadbury's factory open. But the regulator can't impose a stronger penalty than a bruised reputation and a metaphorical rap on the knuckles. Enjoy the beginning of the new school term in terms of your trading outlook and your portfolio. I'll be back same time next week.